So, hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. So, this video is going to be, hold on. So, this video is going to be about my time in the psych ward. So, since it is mental health awareness month, the May is the month of mental health. I filmed this video a year ago, and I never was able to finish this because I was getting really emotional. And I don't think I'm gonna finish it. I think I said what I needed to say. But if anyone can have ever been through like tough situations, anyone is struggling with mental health, I really want to put out this video for the people struggling with mental health and know that it's okay to not be okay. So, yes. So, let's just get straight into the video. Hey, y'all. It's Karaya. Wait, let's start again. I'm still practicing on this. Hey, y'all. It's Karaya. Okay. So, I structured this video. So, if y'all see me, looking at my phone and everything, that's the reason why. So, I'm just kind of working myself into this video. This is going to be a real, raw, vulnerable video. I've never spoke about this, but I believe that it's time. This is something that I've never shared publicly, but I feel like it's time. Okay, so I structured this video and I'm just looking at the bullet points so I can really be just able to talk about this without getting off track. Okay, so I just want to talk about what I was going through emotionally and mentally before the psych ward. So I was going through something called psychosis, and I'm gonna put on the screen what that is. So I was going through some psychosis. I think weed really led to it. I was kind of going through paranoia, and weed wasn't really helping it. So weed would make me more paranoid. I was already in a overthinking, negative time in my life, and weed was just kind of making it worse. So when I would get in my head, or I would get anxious, or I would think negatively, I would just resort to weed. I would just drown it out in weed. I would just smoke to really just take the pain away. I was in a stressful time. I was going through a stressful time in my life, and I was in college during this time, and I felt like when I left for college, everything really. So I would say, so I went to college, right? And then I went to college for a couple months. And then I left college because it was very hard for me. It was very hard. I was very alone, and I didn't know how to put myself out there and be open to certain things. I was trying my best, but I was stuck in my head basically. So my first year of college, I dropped out. Right? So after that, I went home, and I was in a period where I was in a period where I just felt like my mom was ashamed of me. She wasn't really too happy about my decision, right? So, I was just really hard on myself. I was just I just gotta work, I just gotta figure it out, make some money, whatever. I don't know, just figuring it out. But I was very stressed at the time because I was already stressed just from school, just being at school. But I told myself I was gonna go back, and I did. So after that couple months, I went back the start of the next semester. It was in the middle of the semester. I just know I went back January of 2023, right? So January of 2023, I went back, right? And so I was just thinking, I'm just okay, I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna do the work I need to do. I got this, right? So I just feel like let's kind of backtrack from when I was in college the first time. My first semester, I wasn't doing very good. I was kind of just letting, I was just so into my books, struggling, and I was just kind of letting everything get to me. I was just kind of letting life to get to me. But what I feel like was happening at that time when I first went to college, I went to college straight after high school. I graduated in 2022, and so I went to college in August of 2022, right? So yeah, so I went to college, and I feel like once I got there, I was on my own, and I was just like, I feel like a lot of pain was resurfacing. Let's say that, yes, a lot of pain was resurfacing, like a lot of like trauma that I never addressed. I would say, yes, a lot of trauma that I never addressed. And so even talking about this, like, I don't talk about this, so it's just like, it's just so like, good to get it off my chest. So yeah, a lot of trauma was resurfacing when I first went to college, and it was just like, I felt like it was kind of holding me back. Like, I was really just wearing my pain on my sleeve, like, so to say. Yes, and so like a lot of trauma was resurfacing. I was finding out a lot of things about myself that really, really was like honestly getting to me. Like, I was just thinking of a lot of things, and I was just going through a lot of things mentally and emotionally that I did not know how to process. And I felt like it was very normal, just given that, like, say like what's the word? I pushed down a lot of pain just so I can get through like a lot of the years of my life. And that wasn't okay. And a lot of things resurfaced while I was in college. When I first went to college, when I was on my own with my own thoughts, like, wasn't around nobody. Like, I had roommates and things, but it's like I wasn't around anything familiar for me. So doing that, it was a big step for me. And then I was realizing a lot. So I left college, right? So back to when I went back to college. So during that time, when I did leave college, I would say like I was just really in a stress moment, and I didn't really know what to do. I was just working, figuring things out. I was in a relationship at the time, and my relationship wasn't the best, honestly. And yeah, I was just going through some hard things, and I still wasn't really processing everything when I left. Like, I was just in a time where it was just like, okay, I left college. Like, I got that off my chest, but it was still so much pain there where it was like, girl, like, I knew, like, deep down, like, I still wasn't, like, addressing a lot of the pain. But, let's backtrack. But when I was in college, I was getting therapy. I started taking therapy courses. Like, I would get therapy, like, every week. And even therapy started to get overbearing. Like, therapy every week was getting overbearing. And then I was paying for it. Even with insurance, I was paying a lot of money for therapy. Like, I was paying, like, one something a session. And I was getting it every week. Like, it was getting to the point where it was just a lot. Like, I was carrying a lot of things on my plate. And therapy has really helped me. It has really taken me a long way. I've had the same therapist for a couple years, but I'm gonna since I moved and just in a new state, I'm definitely going to get back into therapy. I took a year off of therapy recently because it was getting very, like, financially, it was just a lot of money. So yes. So therapy was really helping me while I was in college, but it was definitely a lot trying to balance everything, and I just couldn't. I was really in a negative space where I didn't feel like I could get up. So I just dropped everything and I left. So when I went back to college in January of 2023, I went back to college. And when I went back, I was just at a space where I was like, okay, everything's going to go good. I'm going to be focused. I'm going to be locked in, And this time I didn't have any roommates. I had a single dorm room. I got an accommodation for a single dorm room. I actually got it, like, my therapist helped me be able to get it, like, just with, like, everything I had going on mentally. My therapist was able to help me, like, write a letter for me so I can give it to my school, and then, like, they can accommodate me. So yeah, so I had a single little dorm. It was like a little small little box. I went to Illinois State University. If y'all went there, any of y'all went there, then y'all would know, like, if y'all had like a single dorm, it's like kind of small depending on like where they placed you and what floor you was on. But so I had a single dorm. I was able to be by myself and in my own energy. But so as I got there, I just still felt like I wasn't, I was still dealing with stress. Like I was still making things, like I would say, making things harder for myself. Like I didn't really know how to juggle a lot of things. And I just know, like, I would be as focused as I can, be on top of everything as I can, but it was still so stressful, you know. And I was trying my best still, but it still felt like that's to the point where I started disassociating again, started getting stressed. All the schoolwork, I would procrastinate because I was just afraid of failing. Like I was in a time where I was doing better than I was before, but it was still like those old pain feelings like catching up to me, basically. So so I so my when I was in a relationship, my girlfriend at the time, she had said like we were gonna go on a trip, right? Mind you, this was a time, like this was in the middle of the semester. I shouldn't have even been going on a trip, but she asked me to go on a trip with her and her siblings to North Carolina, right? She asked me to go on a trip with her and her siblings to North Carolina, and I was just like, yeah. And this was in the middle of like I had like a big comms project that I was working on, and I was in the middle of that, and yeah, so I was in the middle of that, and I had ended up going to North Carolina, and this was in March of 2023. Yes, let me just make sure. Yeah, so this was in March 2023. And yeah, so we had took a flight, I had went back home, we had took a flight, left. So basically, but let's backtrack a little bit. Before the trip, I was having feelings of like questioning myself a lot, like questioning how I would act to people, or questioning like a lot of things. And I was like, okay, like I was in a headspace where I was very confused, right? So I had went on the trip, and I was very in my head. I was in my head so much, like my girlfriend at the time, like her family, we had touched down in North Carolina, and things just felt off. Things just felt off. Like I was very tired, very confused. I was accusing people of things. Like it was very weird. But I was trying to manage it, but it was very weird. And mind you, I wasn't getting much sleep. So when it's the lack of sleep, like it's not good. It's not good. So yeah. So everything is just running through my head right now. Like this is a lot. But so lack of sleep, like, so when I was out there, I just started like, basically I was self-sabotaging a lot. Self-sabotaging. It was bad. So I just kept getting in my head. I could not be in a moment for nothing. Like I would do weird things. I would say weird things. And it was very bad. Like it was very like a lot, like, oh my God, this is so vulnerable right now. And it was just like, and I just I know like in private, like everything has already been made up and everything is already okay, but I just want to publicly apologize to the people that I have hurt during that time, and I have accused. I was really going through a rough time, and I should never projected anything that was going on inside of me outside of me. So I just do want to sincerely apologize to the people that was with me during that time, my ex-girlfriend's family and my ex-girlfriend. I do want to apologize. So yeah, so it was just a time I started, like on a trip, I was acting very odd. I started accusing, like I just didn't really feel safe. And I started accusing like my ex-girlfriend's family of like they were trying to kill me, like they were trying to do things to me. And so that's when I knew like I wasn't in the right mind. Like that's when I knew I wasn't in the right mindset. Like it was very hard for me. It was very hard for me. And just accusing them of things like I was just this is when I knew I was experiencing psychosis, because I wasn't in touch with reality. Like I was out of reality. Like I thought I was somewhere, like I just didn't feel safe at all. So then notice that like on the trip, I'm not even gonna lie, this is kind of hard for me to talk about. I'm not even gonna lie. This is somewhat hard for me to talk about. But so, yeah, so on the trip, I was just thinking like, I was just questioning myself a lot. I was self-sabotaging. Like, I was like really in a space where I was like naggy, very negative, seeing people like evil, like thinking people were doing like evil things to me. I didn't feel safe at all. So at the time, I was being like, it was bad. It was very bad. And so as the trip was ending, everybody knew I wasn't okay. But everybody was kind of like irritated with me. But everybody knew I wasn't okay. The last day, the night before we left, I hid in the closet. I hid in the closet from people and said they were trying to kill me. And like I was saying, like I was telling them like, get away from me. Like I don't want to talk to you. Like it was a lot. It was definitely a lot. And yeah, so it was really a time for me where I was really going through a lot. And I was, others around me, I was still trying to maneuver. Well, I was thinking people were out to get me, basically. And I was just going through paranoia. I was not able to sleep at all. Not able to sleep at all. And I just want to make a disclaimer. This was a chapter of my life. This is not my story. It was a chapter. It was a chapter. This is just a part of my story. It is not my life. It's a part of my life, but it's not my life. But so yeah, so I was really going through a lot. And so the last day I was very anxious. The whole trip I was very anxious. But the last day I was very anxious. I was very in my head. I was very overthinking everything. And once we got to the airport, I was still very scared. Like I was still so in my head. We got to the airport, I would just kept bugging and just kept thinking like stuff was happening. I was asking my girlfriend at the time, like, was I doing stuff wrong? Like, everybody was just kind of mad at me, like, because of just the things that were going on with me. And I understood. And so once we got back, I got back home. So the drive home back, so, we was going from North Carolina to Chicago. So the drive home, I was really in my head. I really, like, it was getting worse. Like, I didn't feel safe at all. Like, I thought people were still out to get me. I just wanted my mom. Like, it was bad. And so I know on the trip, my ex-girlfriend had texted my mom and was just like, I don't think Kariah's okay. She's saying weird things, like, and my mom was like a little worried. So when we had got back, I got to my mom, like I just took my stuff from my ex-girlfriend. I got all my stuff, didn't really say nothing, just went in the house. And then my mom, I was just talking to my mom. My mom was just asking me like, am I okay? And then I was just like, like, are you okay? I was looking around the house, making sure it wasn't nobody in there. Like, I thought somebody was in the house. I thought people was recording. I was just like, don't talk. Like, I told my mom, I was like, don't talk. They listening. Like, it was crazy. So my mom was just like, yeah, like, we're going to take you to the hospital and we're going to see, like, what's wrong with you, basically. So, oh my God, like, this is a lot. Like, this is a lot. So yeah, so basically, oh my God, like, this is so crazy. So I got admitted into the hospital, and they were asking me some things. I was in the hospital for a couple hours, and they were just asking me some things. A social worker had ended up coming in there and just was talking to me, and I'm still like experiencing out of touchness with reality. So, like, I was out of touch with reality. Like, I still didn't know what's going on. I was thinking of, like, playful moments. Like, I was basically twisting every moment in my mind and making it a negative moment, basically. So, like, playful moments, like, things that were very playful, I was making them, like, evil moments. So, I was telling the social worker, like, I was chasing my ex-girlfriend with a knife. Like, it was just a lot of stuff that I should never been telling them. That, that was making me look like, okay, like, yeah, she's definitely going in there, So they were just asking me a lot of questions, and then they just made the decision to put me into the mental hospital. So I was transported to the mental hospital. It was literally across the street from the hospital. I was transported there. And I was put in a room with my mom and my girlfriend, and they was basically asking me, like, about my life, like, in general, like, questions like, have I ever tried to kill myself? Have I ever tried to do this? And I was basically being honest. Like, there was a time where I did try to kill myself. Like, there was times where I would be self-harmless, or like, self-harm. Like, there was a time where I would try to harm myself. And I was telling them all of that, like, when I started drinking, like, it was just a lot of questions that, I was very out of touch, and I was making it worse for myself, basically. Like, I didn't really know what was going on, so I just felt like I was self-sabotaging to the point, like, it's like I felt like I deserved this in a way. I felt like I deserved the psych ward in a way. So, yes. So basically, and it was also a time when, like, I was experiencing guilt just from, like I would experience, like, just the things I was doing. It's like I would do things and then I would feel guilty about it. And so that was really, like, haunting me as well. So, yeah, so, like, this is
number that you'll ever do. Two can be as bad as one. It's the loneliest number since the number one. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do.